Good Morning Britain featured another debate on Tuesday's edition of the show, which saw host Piers Morgan explode at a guest over the backlash dance troupe Diversity has received for performing a routine revolving around Black Lives Matter on Britain's Got Talent earlier this month. Piers Morgan, 55, spoke out in support for Britain's Got Talent star Ashley Banjo, 31, on Monday after his dance troupe took to the stage of the ITV Saturday night entertainment programme last weekend to perform the topical routine. The 4-minute production depicted the death of George Floyd at the hands of American police officers, as well as the protests which took place all over the world in the aftermath. However, Good Morning Britain guest Calvin Robinson explained to the hosts he took offence at the scenes he watched on screen, which led the outspoken journalist to interject in opposition. The political commentator said, "I'm a big fan of Diversity. I remember when they won and it was a great moment. But I think what they tried to do was well intentioned but very misguided, and the British public have said, we don't want this. It was pre-Watershed. It was very violent. It was portraying police brutality and kneeling on necks and taking the knee. It was all steeped in political race theories, which is this whole myth of white supremacy with white people being oppressors and black people being victims. It's not a good message to be sending at 8 PM on primetime television." Disagreeing with Calvin's comments, Piers hit back, "Oh, come off it. I've seen more violence on EastEnders. They did a 4-minute performance that talked about the coronavirus pandemic, about love, about unity, and part of it they depicted the seminal moment of the appalling death of George Floyd." He continued, "I think if you're genuinely offended by what you saw on that show, there's something wrong with you. General public," he raged. "I just feel like, what are you offended by if you think about it logically?" the broadcaster rhetorically asked aloud. Singer and vocal coach David Grant, 64, also spoke as part of the debate, stating those who reported the performance to Ofcom have missed the point. The routine has become the most complained about television moment of the year so far, with the broadcasting watchdog having received almost 22,000 objections to the production. The idea of it was supposed to look at how 2020 has changed us. David began, before explaining why the performance was so important. "If you're going to do that and you're going to leave out Black Lives Matter, which is the most significant social movement whether you like it or not, then you're deliberately editing out reality. It's not the role of art to edit out reality." He continued before Susanna asked whether a Saturday entertainment show was the place to do it. For 8 seconds of a 4-minute performance, they depicted a police officer with his knee of someone's neck. If for 8 seconds out of 240 seconds you're going to dismiss the whole thing because you don't like those 8 seconds or you feel uncomfortable, then you're completely missing the point, the vocal coach added. I think Piers just illustrated really well in response to Calvin in saying, "Look, all lives can't matter until the lives of the least, the most oppressed, the most put upon matter." And for Calvin to say, "Well, that doesn't happen here, in the UK," is a denial of reality, he opined. Taking to Twitter, those watching at home commented on the debate and shared their own opinions on the performance. One posted on social media, "Yes, all lives matter, but I saw this routine as a performance telling the story of 2020. Yes, it was emotive, but it was beautifully done. It amazes me too that many of these so-called complaints are being posted a couple of weeks after it aired." Another wrote, "Diversity had an opportunity to perform and narrate a very important message in such a beautifully demonstrated, artistic way. Theaters tours are all cancelled this year, so they have had no other opportunity as good as this one. Diversity did a knockout performance. Incredible."